Good evening to DeFiChain News on 13th July 2022, the news show that provides you with the latest updates on the DeFiChain project. If you like the show, then let's go crazy on the like button. This helps the project. Subscribe and click the bell button so you will not miss any show in the future. And stay until the end because we will talk about the next shows and dates. But before we start with the headlines, I would like to welcome my co-moderator and expert of DeFiChain, Lord Mark. Welcome to the show. Where are you? Here you are.
It had to be done. It had to be done. The jingle is back. We need more fun in these times, I guess.
Right. And it worked. In the German show, it didn't work. So in this case, perfect. We had the jingle back. If you have not heard it before, you must watch a show from last year. It was the standard. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm a bit tired, to be honest. I got up very early to go for a bike ride, so I'm up 20 hours.
Totally crazy.
So if I'm like, if I mumble around or mix everything up, hey, please bear with me. I have to apologize straight away.
I think you wake up in the morning before I went to bed.
Right, yeah, that's a 6 hours time difference. I don't want to say that's my favorite time to get out of bed, but there's no traffic, it's colder here, and all the other crazy cyclists are also out on the street. So if you have cyclists out there watching the show, they understand what I'm doing. Everybody else might think I'm completely bananas.
For European, totally crazy.
Yeah, they don't do this. Europeans are not going cycling in the dark in the morning. I don't know.
At 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know. Maybe some cyclists are watching. Then let us know.
Let us know really if you wake up at 4:30 to go on the bike at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
crazy. So then.
Cool.
Let's go back to DeFiChain.
Back to
jump into
DeFiChain.
The headlines.
Absolutely. Okay, here are the headlines.
So we will talk about the results of the last voting round for the CFPs and DFIPs. We have 2 Google and DGME stock splits in the future. So we will talk about how it works in this case. We have a small update on Lightwallet. We will talk about the next Hardfork name, how we proceed with this. Community project updates should not miss. And last topic for sure are the future dates. So stay until the end. Then let's have a look on the voting round.
You didn't even dodge. You saw that it was me actually in the picture with the headlines at the beginning. You didn't see that.
Okay,
I thought that's
I'm a professional. I'm just doing.
You're just focusing on the script. I get it. Okay, cool, amazing. Yeah, let's jump right in. How can I help you, DC? What do you want to know?
CFP and DFIP-Voting round. So it finished between Monday and Tuesday. And
I think
what happened?
I think it was a big one. It wasn't the biggest one we figured out, but we had 18 CFPs and 3 DFIPs. So that's 21 points to vote on. And out of this 21, 20 got approved. I think that's quite a crazy number. And the total amount of DFI that were voted on were 2,117,053. That's actually... Can it be true? That's actually kind of a weird number. But yeah, I think that was the highest payout in history of DeFiChain so far, or it's going to be the highest payout. Yeah,
for one voting round.
For one voting round, yeah, absolutely. Maybe we jump into the... You prepared a couple of numbers here, and we look at that. Okay, what's interesting? So we had quite a nice turnout. We had about 500-ish votes per proposal. So that was pretty good. I mean, especially for summer, a lot of people are not even at home, and I think not so many people are paying attention at the moment. So we expected a lower amount of votes. I think that's pretty good. We also saw that the votes came in like in all the last voting rounds pretty late. So at the beginning, there was not much. You said it before, you got kind of worried that we're not going to have enough votes to have a valid voting round, but people caught up later, and I think it's also tactics. People want to see what's happening, what are the others doing. We had a couple of big whales coming in with a substantial amount of votes, so some really big players here. And yeah, at the end, only one was not approved. The unlucky loser here was the community explorer. I didn't expect it, to be honest. This was voted down heavily from the very beginning. I don't know why. It could be that people didn't see the value, or thought the price might not match the value, or they didn't understand it because it looks pretty much the same like the other browser, the other browser pro. I really have no clue. I think the guys are doing a good job, and please keep up the good work. We later on we're gonna even talk about they have an improvement on the on the block explorer. Yeah, everything else I think was pretty much smooth sailing. So there's not much to say. I would say congratulations to everybody who has a project out there, everybody who gets funded, put the work in, and show that the funding is given to the right people out there. It was a very heterogeneous round. It was like there was marketing, there were like new products, new companies, there's new tools. Yeah, it was. I think it was a very interesting round, and I was really surprised that it went so well. I mean, we have one proposal for 1 million DFI, where we're gonna have rewards on a Uniswap pool over the next year. That's 1 million DFI, and it was voted 99.39%. That was really high. I mean, it was Usin put this CFP up for vote, and of course, what he does is quality. But still, I was surprised. It's a lot of DFI, right? And the guys from my DeFiChain, they nailed it again. They had, I think, the highest voted CFP in this round, 99.8% for a decentralized Ocean API infrastructure. It was kind of affordable. So we see it doesn't have to be always in the hundreds of thousands or millions. But yeah, hey, well done. 99.8%, I think, is a clear yes. It can't be clearer than that. Everything else, pretty, how can I say, not really overly exciting. It was more or less smooth sailing.
Maybe one comment regarding the last DFIP. Here you see less votes, just 261.
Good point.
This DFIP was submitted just at the end of the voting round. I think it was on Saturday. It was the confirmation of the DeFi payback disabling we did as the ticket council. So nothing changed. It's just confirmation that the feature deactivation is the right way. But yeah, that is, I think, the reason why we have here less votes as a total number, but very clear winning. Yeah, just 2 no votes.
Maybe worth mentioning that we just talk about it, why this is, in my personal opinion, and most likely also in your personal opinion, an important step that this was done. Do you wanna say something from the technical point of view?
Yeah, we can explain a little bit. So with the asymmetric fee and the high fees, so these were 2 DFIPs from the past. It is easy to enter the system of the D tokens, but not to leave, because if you want to leave, you have to pay the high fees. So we directly saw a premium increasing, and with the premium and this DFI payback functions, it's able to bring the premium down. This makes profit for every arbitrage traders using this feature, but will on the opposite side generate this algorithmic DUSD again, because if people are entering the system, generating premium down with DFI payback, we will not get off this DUSD we want to burn with the high fee. So it will be completely different direction. And on the other side, we need a kind of higher premium now, because higher premium means that at a certain point, DEX fee is equal to the premium. It is able, or everyone is able to leave the system without a loss. and leaving the system at high premium will then burn the DUSD. So we want this premium on the one side, and on the other side, we don't want new algo DUSD in the system.
Excellent. Fantastic. Cool. Then I would say we switch back to our standard studio. Cool. So much about the CFP and DFIP voting. Thanks to everybody who voted, and congratulations again to everybody who got funded.
Good. Then we jump into the next two topics because they are very similar. Stock splits will happen in the near future, and we have two of them on DeFiChain. On the one side, Google, and on the other side, DGME. How will this happen? Anything similar to Amazon?
I think it's pretty much the same story that we saw on the Amazon stock split. Even Google has a 1-20 the swap ratio, so that's gonna be more or less the same. The one is happening on the 15th of July. GME is happening on the 22nd of July. There's gonna be a lock period where the pool is and the trading of these tokens is going to be locked up. This is going to be about 1 hour before market opening in the US, and then 2 hours after market opening when the prices stabilize and the Oracle work properly again. Then we're going to lift this lock from the system. So nothing to do if you've done it or if you have been involved with your Amazon D token. Then it's going to be exactly the same on Google. You don't have to sell anything. You get a new token, like you get 20 times more Google token, and you get 4 times more GME token if you hold GME. So it's actually absolutely a non-event in some way, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive, but let's knock on wood here. Let's keep fingers crossed. But the 120 we've done on Amazon already, and most likely the GME is gonna be as smooth sailing as the stock split before. Like we said, that's gonna be the third one. If these three go through smoothly, then everything is gonna be 100% fine. But nothing to worry about. Don't have to leave the pool. Don't have to sell. Just hang in there, and the rest is gonna be handled by the code at the end of the day.
Cool. So next week we will talk about the Google stock split, how it really happened, and then we will see next steps.
Absolutely.
Cool. Jump into Lightwallet. So here we saw also an update. What's worth to be mentioned?
Yeah, there were two small updates. So one, the 1.15.0 was more or less revamping of the user interface. There's a new onboarding screen now as well, and if you've seen, it says now designed or created by Birthday Research, what is Cake's development arm for DeFiChain. Yeah, the thing looks nicer and nicer over time. Sometimes the small changes are so small that you don't even really notice them, but I think that's a good thing. It just the product is kind of evolving over time. The 15.1 was a nice one because now the stack stabilization fee that we spoke about before, that is pretty high at the moment because we want to avoid that people leave the system from DUSD into DFI at the moment without paying this higher fee. This fee is now also represented in the Lightwallet, so you see the fee. So there's not only a warning, hello, there's a high fee. Now you also see that there's a fee. And I think that's good. Now people for sure can't miss that there's a higher fee. And that's a nice thing to have. Everything else, everything is like before. The wallet is still pink and white. It's just a fantastic product. It just works, right? So it's like, small changes, a big win already here. Very well done, I would say.
Good. So update on the Lightwallet. Next update on the blockchain named Hardfork. So after Hardfork is before Hardfork. Yeah, name. What's the name?
Yeah, so before we mentioned already, right? So in the past, every Hardfork, every mainnet release was named after a subway station in Singapore. And of course, we have a limited amount of subway stations in Singapore, and Singapore is Singapore, and we are international projects. So the idea was actually we name the future Hardforks after international subway stations. And the next one is starting with the letter G. That's why we're going to put up a form, a Google form for the community to vote on. There are 4 names on there. Let me quickly recall them. So one is Ginza. That is a very famous subway station in Tokyo. Then there is Gasometa, what is a quite well-known station in Vienna. I thought that's a nice twist because we have a lot of people from Austria, Germany, and Switzerland in the community. Then we have Grand Central, is one of the largest metro stations in the world, is in New York, Manhattan.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Green Park. That is actually one of the subway stations that connects to Buckingham Palace. And so that gives the whole project a little bit more like the international flair. And the community is very welcome to vote on one of these 4 names, and then the next mainnet release gonna be called like that. And gonna be really interesting to see what the community feels for. So please participate and be involved in naming the next Hardfork. And
When is the end?
next week, I think we're gonna let it run until Wednesday, and or let's say Tuesday midnight, and then on Wednesday we do most likely there's not going to be a lot of changes then anymore. Most people are going to vote in the first days anyway, and then on Wednesday we're going to name the next Hardfork in the news show.
Cool. Looking forward to it. Then next topic of the news show, community projects and their updates.
One of our favorite points always. So we have 2 news today to report. So Max Wolti from QG has a couple of new features. They were even kind of announced before he got funded. He's one of the lucky funded projects in the last voting round that we just spoke about. First of all, 100% USD vaults are possible now with perfect efficiency, how he described it. And then there's for DFI vaults, there's the use of DUSD DFI pool now available. Everything is automated. He wrote there's an automated USDT, USD arbitrage included. Auto donation feature for the lazy supporter. I find that very nice because I think he was kind of struggling sometimes that people really liked his tool and used it, and I think he built it for the community, and then they kind of donated 1 DFI, and he submitted this with a smiley for the lazy donators or for the lazy supporters. I think you can help him out for building this. I mean, even if you get funded, I think this tool really can make you some extra money. So support it. I think it's a fantastic project, and he's a strong member of the community. And then we've got the Community Blockchain Explorer. This was the unlucky loser of the voting round from Sternberg and Partners. They upgraded some new features. I think they've got now a dark mode, what we've seen. And you can also switch to new API now. That's more faster and more reliable now. And they're constantly working on it. So maybe they're going to give it a try in the next voting round. Check it out. It's a cool Explorer. Not only a different color. It's not pink. It's now blue. And you can switch between different APIs. And that can be very Ocean APIs. And that can be very helpful if Ocean API would be down. I think it's a good step into decentralization, and it's a cool tool. Check it out. Link is in the description. Sooner or later, I guess.
I will put it in the description, right?
Cool. Awesome.
Good. Then we are now at the last point, future dates. What's happening next?
That's our favorite topic, I guess, huh? Next week, news show, of course. Wednesday, like always, right? And are you going to be here next week, or you are out of the office, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so guys, next week it looks like I'm gonna be alone. Maybe I'm gonna bring Balthasar in again or somebody else. Let's see.
Hopefully the last time, yeah.
Yeah, you are away quite a lot at the moment, my friend, but it should be forgiven. Absolutely fine. Hey, on Friday we've got a really cool story upcoming. We've got next Fireside Chat, and we've got the first lady on the DeFiChain Fireside Chat. I'm really stoked about that because it's long overdue that the ladies come in the show and represent the community here. And it's going to be quite a famous person from the German-speaking area. Her name is Easy from Easy Finance. And she's got her own YouTube channel. She's doing cool videos there with her brother and her sister. So the whole family is in investment, crypto, stocks, real estate. And yeah, she's a really smart young lady, and she's got a lot of interesting things to tell us. So I think it's gonna be a real highlight. So please support her. Check out the show and leave her a like. I think she's really gonna like it. And yeah, it's gonna be another highlight. Every fireside chat's a highlight. We never had a bad fireside chat, but this is special because the first lady on DeFiChain. I think that's really cool.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, really. Will be interesting.
Gonna be fun.
Cool. Then we are at the end of the official part. For everyone live, I think we have time to answer a couple of questions. If you put them in the chat, we will have a look on them. Everyone watching the show later, thanks for watching it. Please give us a like. It helps. And see you next week in the news show.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye. So the English shoulder setup works like a well-oiled machine, right? Everything works. The jingle works. The intermission screen works. Even the neon lights in the background flicker nicely. Okay, let's see. We've got a couple of questions here. Of course, Christian is here. I have to mention that dude. He's here every single show. Fan of the year. Fan of the year. Cool. We've got Marco here. Hi, DC and Mark. I'd like to ask a follow-up question about the DUSD discount premium. Today there was a discount with DUSD at 93 cents. Then it quickly recovered to $1. I checked and this happened because the DEX price fell to the SEX price. What could have caused the DEX price to decrease so quickly? Because I thought that the DEX pool price is pretty much stable. Thank you for your thoughts. Okay, I have to digest this. Wait, let's bring that up here again.
I think we should explain a little bit the background because we answered the first question in the German show. So what we saw at the beginning of the Hardfork last week was that the DUSD DFE price was pretty stable. It was easy to enter the system, but if you want to leave, you have to pay the high fees. And so nobody left the system, or nearly nobody, and the price was pretty stable. But the rest of the world moved, and the crypto prices go up and down. And so we saw the premium, and yesterday a discount on the DUSD because of the stable DUSD DFI price. What now happened is today, I mentioned it also in the German before, that someone removed the discount with buying DUSD. And this is possible. That's the explanation. Maybe it was a bigger amount. I have not checked the single swaps. But moving the DUSD price down from 95 cents to 92 or something like that, we have to swap a certain amount of DFI and buy DUSD. So someone in the community or more than one people bought DUSD, bringing down the discount. And now we are nearly back to parity, means one DUSD is worth $1. That's the explanation. And in this way, it's without any losses because there are not a high fees. Buying DUSD is just with commission and a 0.1 burn fee. If you want to go back now, it will cost this high fee of around about 30%. And so we don't see the discount again. It was removed, and now we are staying at this price.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question from Catherine. It fits the topic and really good one. Hi, I don't see a warning regarding DEX fee when I want to swap DUSD to DUSDT. And the swap only goes through when I put slippage to 60%. Is this wanted like this is, or is it a bug? So, very good. I haven't seen it. I just checked it. Catherine is absolutely right. So, the DUSD to another stablecoin is a composite swap, DC, right?
Yeah.
So actually, in some way, it would be really cool if there would be the stabilization fee as well. And that the 60% slippage makes also sense because you swap from, no, it should be actually 30%, right? Because you swap from DUSD to DFI, there's a 30% stabilization fee, so you need slippage 30%.
Yes, but I saw it in the community that people or mentioned that the slippage must be higher than the DEX fee. So 30 or 35% is not enough. I don't
So
know if there's
60
something.
might not be necessary then, but it should be higher than 30, right?
Yeah, maybe there's also something in the code regarding the slippage calculation for such high slippages that there are uncertainties and you really go above. But it's not a bug, it's really a feature because the effective price you're getting is not that one shown in the wallet. So you have to allow a slippage to get through the swaps.
It could be just interesting maybe to put the fees also in the composite swap. So I've got what I want to say, Catherine. I've got no answer to that why it's not there, but you're absolutely right. It doesn't show, but that's something what we can ask the team if there's a reason why they did it or why they not did it. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. There is no. Composite swaps seem to be excluded from all these warnings, but they can't get through at least, right? So you cannot be slapped with the fee beside. You have to work. Good mentioning. I gonna take note and gonna talk with the developers about that. One more question, of course. One more question. Shouldn't there be a higher interest rate for DUSD loans? Moving average price of DUSD must have been under 98 cents in the last 24 hours. I wonder that if the interest is still 5%.
Yes, in general, if this DFIP regarding interest rates of loan is active, it should be higher. But I think it was mentioned before that we will not activate this or want to go this way in case we have such less amount of DUSD backed by loans. The idea is later on, if you have this 50-50 ratio, you can use the DUSD backed by loans to remove the discount. So you are more or less forcing people paying back their loan. And this will create a kind of demand, and the demand moves the price up. But currently, we have such a small amount of DUSD backed by loans that we don't want to use this feature in case of a discount. On the other side, for premium, we also saw that the interest rate was not going down to 0. And the reason is that here we need a change in the code. So if we put in a DUSD special interest rate like -5% for the 150% collateralization ratio, it will be 0. 0 is fine. But then for the other loan schemes, it would be negative. And negative interest rates cannot be handled by the code. So here we need an adaptation in the code to change the DUSD interest rates to lower values.
Well explained. Cool. So there are women live on DeFiChain. That's really nice to see. Thanks for the really, really good questions.
Yeah.
Yo, I think time's
Good.
up.
That's
One more
all.
question. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the questions. Yeah.
Excellent questions. DC, it was a pleasure, like always.
Same.
See you.
Very happy to join the show again.
See you in 2 weeks.
No, because you will miss it if I'm right.
Yeah, this is right. In 2 weeks, I'm not here. Okay, guys. So next week,
See you in 3 weeks. Next year.
See you in 3 weeks for the next news show together, at least on the DeFiChain channel. Yeah. Then I would say that's it for tonight.
Yes. Thanks a lot.
For watching and have a great evening.